So today I'm going to be doing some brake lines on my IS300. So I'm upgrading my brake lines to StopTech stainless steel brake lines now. This is a 2003 IS300. These brake lines are pretty old. There's nothing wrong with upgrading them or just replacing them with some OEM stuff because they're rubber lines and they do deteriorate like a rubber band over time. 14 millimeter and 10 millimeter wrench, a pry bar of some sort or a very large screwdriver, turkey baster or something to pull fluid out from a reservoir. Your brake fluid, depending on what you want to do, .3, .4, .5. I went with a pure synthetic .4 for racing, just because I do a lot of autocross and possibly track days, maybe one day some time attack. You're gonna need some rust penetrants, WD-40, a PB blaster, anything like that, some brake cleaner, lots of it if you like, and something to catch your fluids. Okay, so first what we do is I will take some PB blaster and I'll squirt all the lines here, and this one. So I kind of soak each brake line with PB blaster, and I like to let it sit for about 5-10 minutes. And then we'll start taking things loose, and we're going to let it gravity bleed for a little bit, and then continue on. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take as much of this stuff out as I can. Let's pull this out. Using my turkey baster. Now the reason why is I'm going to put some fresh stuff in here, and I'm going to let this gravity bleed. Oof. Gravity. Okay, so as you can see, you're not going to get all of it out. You're still going to leave a little bit in there. And this is about as much as I was able to get out of the reservoir. Oh my God, I'm about to spill it. All right. And then I just come down here and I just empty it into my oil thing. So, put that down there. All right, wipe this clean, and I'm going to top this off. And I'm just going to lightly put the cap on. I don't want any contaminants to get inside of it, so I'm just going to put a cap on there. I'm not tight, just to cover it. All right, now we're going to work on these. So I am replacing my lines. So there's no reason to do the bleed brake yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line off from here, and then take this line off from here, and then just let the brakes bleed, gravity bleed, until they probably the rest of this container, maybe a little bit more, and then I'll install the new lines. I'll let that gravity bleed from here, and then I'll do my pressure bleeding. So let's go ahead and get this off and this off. So I would leave this on and take this off first, just so you have pressure here, so this thing doesn't rotate. Ideally, you use a line wrench for this, but I'm gonna hopefully not strip this. Looks like I'm going to strip this. I can feel it. Yep. Well, my next step is I'm going to use these vice grips. They don't have teeth. The teeth are very dull, and so I'm not going to gouge into it. So I'm going to have my teeth put in there, right there with the line. Here. There we go. See, it came loose now. There we go. See, I didn't do a whole lot of damage to it. Little gouges right there, but I can still get a 10 millimeter around it. And we're going to start breaking it loose. So that's off. And now we'll take this piece off. So I take this big flathead, just kind of twist it off. Pry it off. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, I'm gonna set that down. And just let that go there. While this is bleeding, you will always want to double check this. Make sure this thing doesn't go, when it goes too low, then we'll go and add some more into it. But for right now, we're just going to let it gravity bleed while we continue doing this. Before, I'm going to start here. Hopefully this one comes along easier. Okay. There we go. Rocking there. How'd I get there? Coming out. There we go. Okay, so now I can see it's getting pretty low. I've already topped it off once. I'm gonna go ahead and top it off one more time. So we're gonna start with the front. And basically we're just gonna do just the opposite. I'm gonna spray this down with the brake cleaner a little bit. And with a rag, clean off as much as I can. And then apply this here. All right. As you can see, there's a notch. The shape fits inside here like that. Let's see. Just tighten this like this. Clean off my old clip here. And then I'm going to slide it right on in. Just like that. So now it's steady and in place. So now I can tighten it up. This kit comes with a new bolt with copper washers. So we're going to place some just like this, and then like that. And we're going to put them right back. So yes, so we're going to start just like that. All right, these are number 12 millimeter. So we're going to put these back on. All right, so got this down here. Just tighten those up. That. I'm gonna take this breeder screw loose. This guy right here. All right. And we're gonna tighten this guy back up here. Okay, got that tight. I've loosened up this one. So now this should start coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this down. Now I'm gonna go move over to my next one. I'm gonna leave this loose and wait for these to bleed out. Okay, same goes for this one. Spray it down really good. This time, I'm just gonna put this on first, so put this through here, the copper, make sure you have the copper washer on. Grab the other copper washer, place that back on. I'm gonna slide this back up here again. Have it lined up so it's not turning. Put our retainer clip in. Just like so. We're gonna line this up. We're gonna hand tight this right here, start it off, and then we'll start tightening it up. Got that nice and tight. Clean off that, make it look good. Okay, we're gonna get this, we're gonna tighten this back up. This is actually a 12 millimeter as opposed to the 14 that was on there previously. There we go, got that on. And now we're gonna break the breather screw. Let this bleed out while we wait. And this, rinse and repeat. We just finished that, so we are at, where is it at? Okay, so we're at the minimum again. So let's go ahead and top this off to the max. I have a little bit left. All right, there's one more thing I'm gonna do. Is I'm going to turn the wheels left and right and make sure my brake lines aren't overstretching or anything binding. Okay. So, as you can see, they are binding up a little bit. Let's see here. Okay. So yes, so they are touching here. I'm going to rotate them the other way. So that's what they look like when they're turned. So and the other position is the way to go. So now they're not riding or anything, so I think we're this correct spot. Still good. And that's how they look relaxed. I think we're in a good spot now, so we're gonna let them bleed out a little bit more. Alright, so there's a few ways of bleeding these systems. There's hand pumps that we can use. You can use a two-person style and have them pump while you break loose this open. They'll push on the brake pedal, then you'll tighten it and they'll release, and then do that a few times. If you do that style, you do start from the furthest away from the master cylinder to the closest. So you start from the right rear, then to the left rear, then the right front, then to the left front last. But currently, since I'm only one person, I'm going to let these gravity bleed. So I broke all my bleeder screws loose, and I'm just going to let the gravity feed into the system. We'll call it a day. So I come back after eating lunch, and let's see, we are down a little almost to the minimum. So now that you got should have a steady stream of brake fluid drip, consistent. So now we're just going to go and tighten them up. Alright, after that, brake cleaner. Great thing about brake cleaner is it dries really fast. So now, all I'll do is I'll go and top this off. I'm all out right now, but I'll get some later on. So, alright, put it back on. I'm down to a little above a minimum. It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and crank the car on. Let's see how my pedal feels. Make sure the brake boost is working, so I'm gonna hit the brakes. It actually feels very stiff now. So, feels pretty good. Here's my old brake lines, my old bolts for them. Let's see, I ended up using a 10, a 14, and a 12 millimeter wrench. This, ended up having to use another one of these vice grip pliers and a mallet on a couple of those. Some brake parts cleaner, penetrator. I don't know if this actually worked, but I would like to think that it did. I went through two of these. These are 500 millimeter or 1 pint of brake fluid. I went through two. I probably should have ordered 3. So next time, I'm just going to order a couple more off of Amazon. Gloves. And that's it. That's all you really need. Also, StopTech comes with the new replacement little bleeder caps here. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to put those on here in a minute, but they just slide right over the bleeders. Other than that. So, as you see, pretty much everything's done. I'm going to go ahead and throw my wheels on, pull these out, and go on a little test drive. Other than that, everything worked out great. This is more of a longer version of bleeding brakes. It's very time consuming as far as just wait time. If I had someone here to help me pump brakes, they could pump brakes instead and it would work just as good. With that said, nothing wrong with what I did. It'll work fine. There's no air in the system, and the pedal was very soft. It's one way of doing it. Of course, there are faster, easier ways of doing it, but if you're by yourself, you have no one else to help you, and you have plenty of time on your hands, there's nothing wrong with this method. Alright? But thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you learned something, and I can see you on the track.